Have you ever wondered how an exercise as simple as walking while carrying weight can completely transform your body after 40? In this video you will discover what really happens to your body when you include this simple, but incredibly powerful exercise in your weekly routine. I'll tell you something in advance, it's not just about strengthening your grip, but about reprogramming your entire body to gain health, strength, balance, and even improve your mental state. The farmer's walk is one of the few exercises that activate almost all key muscle groups at the same time: forearms, trapezius, rhomboids, shoulders, deep core, glutes, and legs. It is so effective that many call it the complete exercise that nobody does. Join me and discover why it is much more than carrying weights and walking. Here I tell you how it changes your body, your posture, your mind, and even your longevity when you practice it regularly. Benefit 1. Improves grip strength. The first thing you will notice when practicing the farmer's walk is a surprising transformation in your grip strength, a change that goes far beyond showing off defined forearms or carrying all the market bags in a single trip. Various scientific studies, such as those published in the Journal of Gerontology and in the British Medical Journal, have demonstrated that grip strength is one of the most reliable predictors of longevity and functional health in older adults. Why? Because it reflects not only the power of your hands, but also the health of the nervous system, the condition of your muscles, and even bone density. A 2018 study, for example, concluded that each significant decrease in grip strength is associated with a greater risk of mortality from any cause, cardiovascular diseases, and disability. In other words, a firm grip can translate into fewer falls, fewer fractures, greater independence, and, ultimately, more years of quality life. The best part is that to obtain these benefits you don't need to carry monstrous weights or be an experienced athlete. Moderate weight dumbbells and proper technique are enough. The farmer's walk activates not only the obvious muscles of the hand and forearms, but also a network of small stabilizing muscles in the wrists and fingers that are rarely worked specifically. This has a direct impact on daily life, from opening a difficult jar to lifting a suitcase, holding tools, or practicing any sport. Even activities as everyday as holding yourself on a bus or helping someone get up become safer and easier. In addition, by forcing your hands to resist involuntary opening for several seconds or minutes, the farmer's walk strengthens neuromuscular coordination, which improves your reaction time to stumbles or slips. Benefit 2. Corrects poor posture and reinforces the back. Poor posture, characterized by drooping shoulders, forward head, and sunken chest, is not just an aesthetic problem. Studies such as those published in Journal of Physical Therapy Science have demonstrated that this posture significantly increases tension in the cervical and thoracic spine, which can lead to chronic pain, tension headaches, and even breathing difficulties. This postural pattern, clinically known as kyphotic posture or upper cross syndrome, usually develops after years of sedentary life, work in front of screens, and lack of specific exercise for postural musculature. This is where the farmer's walk becomes much more than a strength exercise, by forcing you to keep your shoulders packed back and down, as if you wanted to trap a pencil between your shoulder blades. It sustainably activates the middle and lower trapezius, the rhomboids, and the rotator cuff. These stabilizing muscles are essential to counteract the body's natural tendency to round the shoulders and bring the neck forward, thus restoring muscular balance between the anterior and posterior part of the trunk. The most interesting thing is that this constant stimulus not only strengthens, but also neuromuscularly educates the body to adopt a more upright posture even outside of training, as confirmed by a review published in Journal of Bodywork and Movement Therapies. Over the weeks, this exercise triggers almost automatic changes. You will notice that you walk more upright, project more confidence, and even breathe better thanks to the thoracic expansion that allows the correct alignment of the rib cage. In addition, by stabilizing the shoulder girdle, the farmer's walk protects the shoulder from common injuries such as supraspinatus tendinopathy, frequently caused by weakness or imbalance of the deep muscles. This therapeutic effect is enhanced because it is a functional exercise that integrates strength, isometric endurance, and coordination, unlike traditional analytical exercises. Benefit 3. Improves core functionality. Forget about doing hundreds of classic crunches that only work the surface of the abdomen. The farmer's walk is a much more complete and effective tool for building a strong and functional core. When walking carrying weight, your body faces a constant challenge. The weights tend to tilt it, rotate it, or make it wobble, and to stay upright you need to automatically activate the deep muscles of the abdomen, especially the transverse abdominis, considered by specialists as the body's natural belt. According to studies published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, unilateral or bilateral loading exercises in motion, such as the farmer's walk, stimulate not only the visible six-pack muscles, but also the internal and external obliques and the transverse, which together generate a stability belt around the spine. This deep activation protects the vertebrae from micro-injuries, reduces the risk of herniated discs, and notably improves postural control, something key after 40 years, when muscle mass tends to decrease naturally. But the benefits don't end there. By reinforcing the transverse abdominis, diaphragmatic breathing under effort is also facilitated, which translates into greater respiratory efficiency during exercise and in daily life. In fact, researchers like McGill and Kavcic have demonstrated that the coordinated activation of this deep muscle contributes to stabilizing the trunk even during gestures as everyday as coughing, sneezing, or turning to reach something behind the car seat. This makes the farmer's walk much more than a simple strength exercise. It is a functional training that teaches your body to protect the spine without you having to think about it, creating a solid foundation that improves any other movement, from bending down to lift shopping bags to performing more complex exercises like squats or deadlifts. Benefit 4. Gain muscle mass and burn fat. Although at first glance it may seem that the farmer's walk is just walking with weight, the reality is much deeper and scientifically backed. It is a metabolically dense exercise that combines sustained muscular tension with a notable cardiovascular stimulus. Each step simultaneously activates the muscles of the legs, glutes, forearms, trapezius, rhomboids, deltoids, and, above all, the deep core, creating an effect known as metabolic conditioning or Metcon. According to studies published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, this type of compound exercises generate a high energy expenditure not only during the activity, but also after finishing it, thanks to the EPOC effect, which accelerates caloric burn at rest. This phenomenon explains why relatively short sessions of farmer's walk can equal or even surpass in efficiency the calorie burn of longer and more monotonous cardio routines. In addition, the isometric tension required to keep the trunk firm and the shoulders packed significantly increases muscle activation, stimulating the growth of lean mass, key to accelerating basal metabolism. The most interesting thing is its versatility. You don't need hours on a treadmill or complicated gym machines. With just a pair of dumbbells and a few meters to move, you can design a complete training that adapts to any level. If you seek hypertrophy and strength, it's enough to increase the weight and reduce the distance, prioritizing muscular tension. To improve endurance and fat burning, you can walk longer distances or increase time under tension. And if you want to work unilaterally, variants like single-arm carries add an extra challenge to the core and obliques, intensifying stabilizing activation. Research from the National Strength emphasizes that this type of functional exercises, by involving multiple planes of movement and muscle chains, not only shape the physique, but also improve motor capacities like balance, coordination, and power. Benefit 5. Improves balance, coordination, and prevents falls. The farmer's walk is much more than a simple strength exercise. It acts as an integral training for the central and peripheral nervous system thanks to its profound impact on proprioception, that is, the body's ability to perceive its position in space and anticipate or correct movements in response to external stimuli. Studies published in Journal of Strength have demonstrated that activities that combine displacement with external load, such as the farmer's walk, stimulate proprioceptive receptors located in muscles, tendons, and joints, favoring constant communication between the brain and the rest of the body. This neuromuscular feedback forces automatic posture readjustment at each step, preventing you from losing balance or suffering sprains. In practice, this means that your nervous system becomes more efficient and reactive, which translates into greater stability and coordination in everyday activities like climbing stairs, walking on irregular surfaces, or even turning sharply to avoid an obstacle. The most interesting thing is that, according to research, maintaining and stimulating proprioception not only improves movement quality, but is also one of the most effective strategies to prevent falls, one of the main causes of serious injuries and loss of independence in older adults. With constant practice of the farmer's walk, you will notice changes that go beyond visible strength: a firmer step, faster reflexes, and greater confidence when moving. In addition, by simultaneously involving the stabilizing muscles of the core, hips, knees, and ankles, this exercise reinforces the complete kinetic chain, allowing each joint to better withstand imbalances and unexpected forces. Altogether, we are talking about a functional, economical, and adaptable training for any level that not only makes you stronger on the outside, but reinforces your body's internal communication, achieving more coordinated, safe, and fluid movements. Benefit 6. More mental discipline and focus. Although many people see the farmer's walk only as a physical exercise, various studies and experts in sports neuroscience agree that it is also a powerful training for the mind. In each step, when the forearms burn, the shoulders feel the weight and fatigue begins to whisper to drop the weights. A response known as mental self-regulation is activated, the ability to recognize discomfort and, even so, continue deliberately. Research published in Frontiers in Psychology has demonstrated that exercises that require maintaining sustained tension and concentration develop neural circuits related to resilience, tolerance to discomfort, and stress management. In the farmer's walk, this resilience is not abstract. It translates in practice into learning to breathe deeply, refocus the mind, and take one more step when the whole body asks to stop. This type of mental training strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for executive control, which helps us make better decisions and resist impulses, not only during exercise, but also in everyday situations. In addition, from a physiological point of view, the farmer's walk induces a response similar to active meditation. Mindful attention to posture, grip, and breathing reduces the activity of the default mode network, associated with worry and mental wandering, and increases activation of brain regions involved in concentration and emotional control. According to studies from the Journal of Sports Sciences, this combination of physical load, respiratory control, and conscious focus elevates levels of neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin, improving mood and reducing anxiety symptoms. With practice, these mental benefits transcend the gym. The same ability to remain calm under pressure can help you solve work problems, face family discussions, or confront any unexpected challenge of everyday life. Although the farmer's walk seems simple, the difference between doing it well and making mistakes marks an abyss in its benefits. One of the most common failures is letting the shoulders go forward, falling into the typical kyphotic posture that we precisely seek to correct. According to studies published in the Journal of Bodywork, this posture not only reduces the effectiveness of the exercise, but also increases pressure on the cervical spine and the risk of rotator cuff injuries. The key is to keep the shoulders packed back and down, as if you were trying to trap a pencil between your shoulder blades. This activates the middle trapezius, rhomboids, and deep shoulder stabilizers, reinforcing posture and distributing weight safely. Another common mistake is walking too fast, trying to finish as soon as possible. However, as researchers from the Journal of Strength explain, the effectiveness of the farmer's walk lies in control and constant tension, firm steps, controlled breathing, and gaze forward. Each step should be felt. It is not a race, but a challenge of endurance and stability. Finally, many people relax the abdomen, letting the trunk sway without control. This nullifies one of the greatest benefits of the exercise, the work of the deep core, especially the transverse abdominis, which acts as a natural belt to protect the spine. The expert's recommendation is simple. Imagine that someone is going to give you a gentle blow to the belly and activate the muscles to resist it, maintaining that contraction throughout the route. For those who are starting, specialists recommend beginning with 2 to 3 sets of about 45 seconds using a weight that is challenging, but does not compromise technique. It is important to rest about 60 seconds between sets to maintain correct posture in each route. As the body adapts, difficulty can be increased progressively, 3 to 4 sets of 1 minute or more, raising the weight a little or reducing rest to about 45 seconds. This progression follows the basic principles of resistance training described by the National Strength: progressive overload, good technique, and sufficient recovery. Remember that the farmer's walk is not about speed, but about body awareness. Each step counts. Keeping the abdomen firm, the shoulders stable and breathing deep transforms an apparently simple exercise into an integral challenge for strength, endurance, and coordination. In addition, it is important to vary the stimulus, alternate straight routes, changes of direction, or even unilateral tests, walking with only one arm loaded, to reinforce the obliques and lateral stability. These variations are supported by studies that demonstrate that asymmetric exercises significantly increase core activation and improve functional stability, key for everyday movements like carrying a suitcase or lifting objects from the floor. However, although the farmer's walk is tremendously effective, it does not by itself replace a complete routine. As functional training experts explain, the body needs a balance between strength, mobility, flexibility, and cardiovascular work to stay healthy long-term. Therefore, if you seek to transform your physique, reduce pain, and feel even 10 years younger, complement the farmer's walk with other compound exercises like squats, pushes, rows, and joint mobility work. The most powerful thing about the farmer's walk is its simplicity. You only need a pair of dumbbells and a few free meters. No expensive machines or complicated routines are needed. With consistency, you will notice results in a few weeks: a firmer grip, better posture, more stable core, functional strength that translates into safer daily movements, better balance, and, above all, a renewed confidence in each step. If you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give a like to this video, and activate the notification bell, since for us it will surely be of great help. Your body and your health will thank you. Thanks for watching this video and see you soon.